I'm Tom Vasel.
Zee Garcia, how are you?
Finally, the list that I wanted to talk about. I'm Sam Healey.
And this is a part of a series that we're doing on games to shop and buy for folks for Christmas 2015. These are games that either are available or will be available very soon, enough in time for you to buy them to someone and send it to them for Christmas. Today's list, thematic games. These are the games for the guy who really wants a heavy dose of theme in his game. Maybe he wants to slay Dungeons and Dragons, or go flying in a spaceship, or go throughout time, or some kind of story. Maybe not necessarily just for those people, but if you like to play a game, but you want the game itself to tell a story, these are the games for you.
Right.
I think. Well, let's find out.
All right. My number one is a game that's actually won the Dice Tower Game of the Year, and that is Dead of Winter from Plaid Hat Games. Dead of Winter is a apocalyptic themed game that has zombies in it. I say that way because it's not really a zombie game. They're just the antagonist of the story, I guess you could say. They're the ones that you're trying to keep away. The real game is how you and the rest of the players in the game are going to work together to garner the resources that you need to finish whatever the crisis is at that particular moment in time. And it has a very cool mechanism of the crossroads cards that add the storytelling element to it in a very neat and interesting way. So go check it out, Dead of Winter by Plaid Hat Games.
If you like the TV show Walking Dead, this is a game for you.
Right down your alley.
All right. My first choice is Dead Men Tell No Tales, which has ultimately a very simple story. You are a pirate, you want to go on a ship, loot it, and get off the ship. However, a couple of twists to that. The ship is burning, and it's full of the undead. So
Either one of those things would make me stop. But
that makes your endeavor a little bit harder. In this game, you are actually cooperating with the other players to get in there, loot it, get out before the ship either burns down around you or you are struck down by these undead. It's got a great theme, but it's backed up by really nice and interesting mechanisms that engage you in the game. I enjoy it quite a bit. It's got some tile laying. You're exploring the ship as you go, and it's just a really engaging, cooperative game with a great theme, and that's a good combination for me. Dead Men Tell No Tales. Check that one out.
It's a good game.
yeah, pirates, ghosts, fire. I picked Time Stories for the list. Time Stories is a game in which it's kind of like, think of this as a video game, because when you buy Time Stories, you can plug different stories into it. But it comes with a story in which you are going back in time. In all these games, you go back in time, and you're going through it. Think of it, it's like a cooperative choose-your-own-adventure, and you have different things that you find, and then at some point, suddenly you're yanked back to the present. And then you're like, oh, all right, let's go try it again. So you go try it again, and you start over, but a few things change, and you know more information, and so eventually you will beat the scenario, but they're going to be coming out with a scenario for this every 3 months. So there's already at least one other scenario available for the game. So if you like this choose your own adventure and you want to do it with a group of friends, this is a fun game in that regard. Time Stories.
Cool. My game, this is one of my games.
This is your game.
This is my game. This is a game that I was unsure of when I first heard about it, but after the first time I played it, I bought into it completely, and that is, from Cool Mini or Not, Blood Rage. It is a Viking-themed game where you are each trying to gain the most glory points throughout the course of the game by dying gloriously in battle or causing other people to die gloriously in battle. And it's one of the few games that you actually get, and you can get a lot of them, points from dying and dying well. So Blood Rage is a Viking-themed game for up to, 4 players. If you have the expansions that are actually not very accessible right now, you can go up to more players than that. But really, 4 is the number that I like to play it with the most. So that's Blood Rage.
Vampires is one of my favorite themes, and especially like vampires if you mix it with a little suspense and mystery. I'm talking here about Fury of Dracula. Now, Fury of Dracula has been out several times in different versions. Version 3.0 just came out, which is the one you're going to be able to find, and it's out now. But the game has always been about finding Dracula and the great suspense of tracking him down across Europe, or as the Fiend himself, evading your would-be captors and, finding them just at night and attacking them. It's a great big rump of suspense and mystery. A wonderful game. That's Fury of Dracula.
Good choice.
All right, well, now we're going to move to a more serious thing, which is Pandemic Legacy. This is something that could happen. Viruses take all over the world. Now, Pandemic itself is a very popular game. Pandemic Legacy takes the original game of Pandemic and mutates it as you're playing. You play a set number of games, and then you're finished, but, you get a lot of games in the box. Mm-hmm. And you go through, and each time, at the different points, different things will happen. By the end of the game, what you're playing will be very different than what you played in the beginning. I can't say a whole lot more of that because this is one of those games that actually comes with spoilers. There's a lot of different things that will happen that will shake the world and different things you'll be surprised at, but it's a cooperative game and all players are experiencing these things together. We've played through the entire game. It was an amazing experience. I can guarantee you that you will also have an amazing experience if you play through the whole version of Pandemic Legacy from Z-Man Games.
Very cool.
By the way, there is a red cover and a blue cover out there. They are identical. You can buy either one, folks. They are the same game.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, my next game is a game that really enjoy, mainly for its dice chucking and its simplicity, and that is also from Cool Mini or Not, Rum and Bones, a pirate-themed game where there are two ships next to each other, and the crews from those two ships are trying to basically destroy the other ship, or the other heroes. And it is just a great, fun time of chucking dice, moving people around, using special abilities, special powers, and it's just a blast to play. That's Rum and Bones from Cool Mini or Not.
My choice is a two-player game, which also has a very fantastical setting, like Sam's choice, but it's a much more classically fantastical setting, and this is Battle Lore version 2.0, which is the one available now from Fantasy Flight Games. And in this one, you are taking your army, you are deploying them on the map across from your enemy, and then you are just smacking your army right into theirs, clashing and taking them down. It's a really thematic game, lots of some card play, some dice rolling, lots going on. If you are looking for a two-player game with a high fantasy value and high production value, really, then this is one for you. Battle Lore 2.0, highly recommended.
Very good choice.
So what if you throw a goblin and a dragon and a minotaur into a ring and tell them all to fight each other? Who's going to win? Well, Ultimate Warriors, you get to do that. You get to be one of those people. And you might think, well, the goblin's going to lose against the dragon, but that's not necessarily true. The dragon is bigger, but he's also easier to hit. The goblin is small and can dodge. And so in this game, each person takes some sort of fantasy monster or creature, and they're all fighting each other with cards and rolling dice, and whoever has hit the other people the most is the winner. Or you can take everybody else out, which is harder but possible, and works really well. Lots of shouting and yelling, and just, I don't know, this one just brings out that entertaining, I got you type thing that everyone enjoys. And that's Ultimate Warriors. I'll tell you this, if you like King of Tokyo, this is a very similar game to that, and I think you'll like this one also.
Yep, that's a good game. Love it. With Episode 7 coming out in just a few short weeks. Star Wars Episode 7 is coming out in December, and a dead ringer for the Star Wars fan in your family would be Star Wars Imperial Assault from Fantasy Flight Games. It is a two-player, most of the time game, although you can split the teams up and play with more if you'd like, where one side is the Imperials, the other side are the Rebels, and there is a campaign storyline version of the game that you can play, and there's also a skirmish way that you can play the game where you build your army and your opponent builds his army, and then you build the map together, and then you fight, and whoever wins, wins. All in all, if you have a Star Wars fan in your family, this is a game that you should think very heavily about picking up. Star Wars Imperial Assault.
Yeah, it's Star Wars in a box.
Yep.
Yep. Very good. In Dark Moon, which is my next choice here, you are one of a group of people and you are on a station in space, and someone among you is infected with something and has turned them against all of you, except you don't know who it is at the beginning of the game. And that's really what the whole game is about. In it, you are rolling dice, you are solving crises as they come up, but someone is not trying their hardest. And you need to figure out who that is so you can save everybody else. The game has an interesting suspense feel to it, but flows well and is a fairly quick game because, well, you're rolling some dice and assigning them, and you're moving through that game at a clip. But if you enjoy games that have a hidden traitor, if you enjoy the idea of not quite knowing who's on your side, then I recommend you check out Dark Moon.
All right, well, now we move to another futuristic thing, but not what you might expect. Baseball Highlights 2045 is baseball in the future, where cyborgs and robots are playing the sport. Yeah, it's only 30 years away. But anyhow, there's all this is going on, and this is a game in which you are playing another player, although you can set it up to have multiple people play, and I'll play you while Sam plays Zee. Sam plays Zee, and then we switch off and we're playing at the same time. There's enough cards in a box to do that. And you play through games of baseball. If you like baseball, you'll like it. It's very quick. It's not like detailed like many baseball games out there. It's like deck building, very fast game. And you can play through, in essence, a whole season over the course of it while getting new people, new robots, new cyborgs to join your deck. I like it a lot. I know many people who are not fans of baseball and they still love this game. As someone who does like baseball, I think that also comes through. So that's Baseball Highlights 2045 from Eagle Griffin. So those are 12 games that really are brimming with theme. Lots of things from ghost pirates to
aliens and diseases.
Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, it's not all the same stuff. So if you're getting this for someone, maybe you know someone who likes Vikings. Well, then, hey, you can get this game. If you get Blood Rage, you know someone who likes diseases, report them. But then buy them Pandemic Legacy. So anyhow, that's our thematic games. I'm Tom Vasel.
Zee Garcia, thank you for tuning in.
Sam Healey. See you on the flip side.
We're doing 5 of these videos. Watch them all.